Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Chainsaw Man Chapter 119. Yes, this chapter did come out a week ago, but there's no new chapter this week, so I figured for the sake of distribution, of spreading things out a little and putting out a Chainsaw Man video this week, I would just save the review for today. It's not like there's anything else I have to do for the channel. I do have other things outside of YouTube to do, but none of you give a shit about that stuff. What you care about is what I have to say about this chapter, my analysis of its contents. Well, before we get into that, as always, if you haven't already, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd like to try and hit at least 100 likes on this week's review. Now then, without any further delay, let's get right down to business, shall we? So, honestly, there's only like two-ish things to talk about this chapter, but I could probably ramble about them for a little bit, for a little while. So, we should probably mostly talk about Nayuta. I think everything kind of stems from her, in all honesty, because Nayuta's back this chapter. She reappears like we expected her to, and she's definitely the queen of the household. She's definitely the one in charge, the one making the rules, because Denji doesn't really give any of his rules, you know? I mean, I suppose maybe theoretically he made them after watching Nayuta's behavior, unless she told him what's against the rules. But I doubt Nayuta would say, "You can't make out in front of me, don't do that." It may have been something Denji's learned from experience. As some people have brought up, maybe Denji has, brought girls home before, and they too have had a magical chain generated through their skull. Of course, Asa and Yoru being the way they are, that would not kill them, probably. But maybe it has some other effects. The chains generally are for controlling people, which thus raises the question, can Nayuta control Yoru? Maybe, because Yoru isn't at her full power. She is confined to the vessel that is Asa, and she doesn't have a lot of her weapons that she used to have before because of the Chainsaw Man eating them. So War Devil is kind of nerfed due to not having their full arsenal, but also the limitations of Yoru's ability. I would suppose currently Yoru is weaker than Nayuta. Just seems to have more limitations on what she can do. But I'm figuring probably that, this is not going to kill them. This is just going to reveal, oh, yeah, you're two people, and one of those two people is one of the horsemen, my elder sister. I don't know if Nayuta would recognize that, because it's not really clear how much Nayuta knows about her being a devil, or really devil stuff in general. I don't remember what sort of basic knowledge they have upon being reborn into the world. I know they have, like, some very basic stuff, I think, but not really aware of much other than that. Yoru will certainly be like, what the fuck? Why is there another horseman here? Why are they in your house? What? So, it'll be some realizations, certainly. To get a little bit more into Nayuta's character, some people have been under the impression, because of the hairstyle change, that, oh, literally Makima. No, they're the same devil, but they are explicitly different people. Makima ended up the way she did because she was raised by the state. She was raised by bureaucrats and devil hunters who wanted to use her because she was powerful. And that's why she ended up becoming a person that could really only see people as things to be used and couldn't really see them as people. Nayuta is being raised by Denji. Denji, who's kind of the opposite. Well, Denji's not the most empathetic person in the world. He doesn't care about a lot of people getting killed. But he's far more in touch with his emotions and what is important to him personally, who is important to him, than Makima was. certainly more so than the Japanese State Department. So Nayuta's presumably being taught how to be a normal, somewhat compassionate person. Although it's probably really hard for her because she is a devil of control or conquest. And also, she's like, it's hard to tell, honestly, because in one respect, like, you see her walking the dogs and she looks to be pretty much the same height. However, the Nayuta we see at the end of the chapter with this, like, it's not quite a turtleneck sweatshirt, but with, like, the fucking high-waisted jeans and the Makima haircut, looks way drippier, looks way better dressed than any, like, 6 or 7-year-old I've ever seen. You know, looks way more put together than any I've seen before. So we know she's mature for her age, even though she's technically not even, like, 6 years old. If you want to count, well, her knowledge, her experience on Earth starts, like, presumably less than a year ago. So I guess she is very mature for her age. I don't know. Where was I going with this? I can't remember. Something maturity, being raised by Denji. I am under the impression, I think it's quite obvious, that Nayuta is doing this stuff because she's protective of Denji. She doesn't really care about anything else. You can see from the potted plants in the background that she has let her plant die, pretty much, while Denji's been doing a pretty good job taking care of his. That's why Denji is the provider for the house. Yeah, Nayuta's the one controlling the home, but Denji's the one putting food on the table. He's the one making sure the lights stay on. Actually, maybe Kishibe's doing that, because, like, Denji is really just scrounging together money he's getting from random bullshit. I'm pretty sure Kishibe's still providing for them. She just wants what's best for Denji. And that translates into her being hyper-defensive and possessive of him. This little arc here is presumably going to be focused around Nayuta learning to be okay with Denji caring about other people than just her. That's what it is. She doesn't want him caring about anyone else other than herself. That's why when some random bitch shows up and starts tongue wrestling with him in the living room, she points at her and goes, "You thieving whore," and then blows her brains out. That's why. I don't think it's going to be some weird sister complex thing, though, knowing Fujimoto, it could be. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully it's just a classic case of sibling is very protective of their other sibling because they care about them and they don't want them to get hurt. Because, man, has Denji been hurt by women a lot in the past. Part 1 is basically just Denji getting hurt by women. So, you know, it's fairly understandable that she would be this way. I think this arc is going to be great. I think it's going to be really, really good. How good? I don't know. But, like, so far, the start of Part 2 has been better than the start of Part 1. It benefits a lot off of the fact that it's not actually the start of a new series, it's just a continuation. But still, we've basically had a new main character, new cast, somewhat, new focus, new storyline starting back up. And from that perspective, I think Part 2 has been off to a stronger start than Part 1. We're, a little over 20 chapters into it now? And I think it's more interesting than, like, the first 20 chapters of Part 1, in all honesty. Like, the Bat Devil stuff, the Eternity Devil stuff, yeah, it's neat. It's entertaining, it's good. But I don't find it as interesting as the stuff they have done with Asa and Yoru, their relationships, Denji now kind of being a free man. I think Part 2 has just kind of been, better. I don't know, what do you guys think? Anyway, I suppose that's really all I got for this week's review. theoretically, there's really not much to talk about in this chapter when it comes to a review. Like, you got Nayuta's rules. Not really much to go off based on them. They kind of speak for themselves, except for the third one. That raises some questions about Denji's previous dating activities. And then just kind of wondering what the deal is going to be with his and Nayuta's relationship, and how Asa's going to fit into that. Yeah, he's going to find out Asa's immortal because of Yoru, probably. Oh yeah, maybe she finds out Denji is Chainsaw Man next chapter. You know, maybe that gets revealed. The mutual sharing of, you're possessed by the War Devil? Well, I'm Chainsaw Man. I was serious when I said that earlier. Yeah. Should be some good stuff. I certainly know the fan content that came out after chapter 118 was great. So, looking forward to more of it. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got for this week's review. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I do Chainsaw Man chapter reactions and reviews every week that we get a new chapter. If you enjoy discussing Chainsaw Man with other people, or you just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to that down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care.